making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
So now that we are just 20 days away from ushering in a new president, thankfully, it would appear that Joe Biden, and this is pretty hilarious, we got to talk about this, seems fully intent on remaining completely delusional and bitter over the infamous coup that happened to him. So it appears that, instead of just enjoying their final days in the White House, instead of, celebrating Christmas and New Year's, apparently the Biden family is still bitter about what Obama and Pelosi did to him. And we got to report this story to you here today. So apparently Biden is reportedly regretting ending his re-election campaign and saying that he would have defeated Donald Trump. That is right. Absolutely ridiculous, right? And, let's be clear about this. Obviously, Kamala Harris was not the strongest candidate that the Democrats had. Certainly not the best and brightest of that party. But at the same time, the idea that 2024 Biden was somehow a stronger candidate even than Harris is utterly ridiculous. And if we need to take a trip down memory lane, let's really quickly refresh ourselves on where the race stood when they did the infamous candidate switch.
Elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in.
Well, technically, it's not even tied, at least according to CNN polls. Donald Trump is leading the presidential race in general election polls. So what's going on here? I mean, is it Trump nostalgia? My panel is back with me. I mean, there is a little bit of maybe not nostalgia, but there's amnesia that could be at play here.
Yeah, I mean, that's frankly the reality of it, right? We have memories. We remember how bad that race was looking for the Democrats. Kamala Harris was like their Hail Mary. That was their last hope, because if Biden had stayed in the race, I really don't think this is a controversial take. You very likely would have not just seen the 2024 electoral map that happened in real life, but also flips of some of those closer states, right? Trump would have been winning Virginia, New Jersey, New Hampshire for sure, Minnesota, maybe even New Mexico, states like that. So, it's just, again, completely insane. There may actually, though, guys, be an ulterior motive as to why this news is supposedly leaking out of the White House. We'll tell you about that in a second. First, folks, do us a big favor. Make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. You subscribing, guys, is the best way to ensure we can keep bringing you these videos. It's totally free, so make sure you go and do that. But anyways, that said, okay, so let's get into this article and just listen to the ridiculousness that is reportedly circling out of the Biden White House right now in its final days. So Joe Biden regrets having pulled out of this year's presidential race and believes he would have defeated Donald Trump in last month's election, despite negative poll indications, White House sources said. And just to be clear, guys, it has been widely reported that Biden's internals were showing ridiculous amounts, right? Like literally 350 to 400 electoral votes for Trump. But apparently, okay, polls are not real, except for when J.N. Selzer shows that Harris is up 3 in Iowa. Somehow that poll is real, but I don't know. Again, just total denial of reality. But guys, here's what I want to say, okay, to the Democrats. If you really think this is true, if Biden really thinks this is true, well, Biden has another chance, right? Run him in 2028. I'm fully endorsing it. Joe Biden 2028 is a fantastic idea. Clearly, yeah, sure, it was the wrong decision to switch him out. Let's run him again. Why not? If Donald Trump can make the comeback, why can't Joe Biden? Trust me, Democrats, that'll go fantastically. Official endorsement, Biden 2028 Democrat candidate. as one of many options there. You could also run Kamala Harris again, if you want to do that. But anyways, the U.S. president has reportedly also said that he made a mistake in choosing Merrick Garland as his attorney general, reflecting that Garland, a former U.S. appeals court judge, was slow to prosecute Donald Trump for his role in the January 6th insurrection, quote unquote, while presiding over a Justice Department that aggressively prosecuted Hunter Biden. So, the argument that Biden is making right now as well, if they just threw Trump in jail, if they just, increased the weaponization, if they just did the lawfare a little bit stronger, I would have won the election. Everyone knows that, right? Because clearly the lawfare worked so well, to begin with. But, it's like if the Justice Department just would have been a little more political, because it was already pretty political, a little bit more, surely I would have won. All right, Joe, whatever you say, right? With just more than 3 weeks of his single-term presidency remaining, Biden's reported rueful reflections are revealed in a Washington Post profile that contains the clearest signs yet that he thinks he made an error in withdrawing his candidacy in July after a woeful debate performance against his rival for the White House the previous month. Obviously, as we know, it's Kamala Harris, all that. While Biden and his aides have been careful not to blame Harris, they apparently believe the result would have been different if he had stood his ground, according to the Washington Post reporting. Okay. It goes on to say it's a view widely disputed by many Harris supporters who blame the president for waiting too long before withdrawing, thus leaving the vice president with little time to mount an effective campaign. Now, I think that's probably more accurate, although I will say in total fairness, the fact that Kamala Harris had such a short campaign to run was the best thing she had going for her, because as you saw, both in 2024 and in 2020, she really is a one-trick pony, right? She's done this a million times where she starts off with a lot of momentum, but every single time that Americans actually get to know her, and we've seen this both times she ran for president, the more they grow to dislike her. So neither of those, I think they're both wrong about this, frankly. The best chance Democrats would have had is doing a real primary, Joe Biden not running again, and choosing a totally different candidate entirely. Like any of them would have done better than either of these two clowns. But I'll tell you guys, I think this is what is really going on right now. Is there is a widespread consensus right now within Democrat circles that, look, we want to win, right? So, and if we want to win, we should not have anyone associated with Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. We're talking about their staffers, their PR people, their maybe even cabinet picks, whatever. We shouldn't have any association because that's a losing formula. We need to totally go in a new direction. However, power does not go down very easily, as you could probably imagine. And I think what could also be happening, this was speculated on Fox News today, and I find it to be actually pretty likely, is what's really going on is a lot of White House staffers are thinking to themselves, shoot, I might not have a job ever again if I'm associated with Joe Biden. So the Joe Biden staffers are essentially trying to say, no, look, it was actually Kamala Harris's fault. Of course, the Kamala Harris staffers and their team is saying, no, it was Joe Biden's fault. Essentially keep pointing the fingers to say, no, you should hire me in the future, not them, right? We're to blame. No, they're to blame, whatever it is. Kind of funny, kind of a hilarious and chaotic situation. Definitely going to be a full-blown civil war in the Democrat Party, not just next year, but the next couple of years, right? Because there's like different sides that people are blaming. The Biden team, right? Everyone's going to look at them and say, you're the reason why we lost. But there's also the Kamala Harris team, who people are saying, well, you didn't do a good job either. Of course, there's the Obama Pelosi people that are kind of pulling the strings from the top. And some Democrats are probably saying, well, you guys have sort of overseen. You guys have been the kingmakers in this party for a very long time now. And you guys are the real problem. And, they're just all going to basically cannibalize themselves. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really interesting to watch these power struggles, who comes out on top. But yeah, that's the current state of Joe Biden, reportedly, right? Completely delusional and still bitterly claiming that he would have won the election. Not true, buddy. But, keep believing that. Again, Joe Biden 2028, a fantastic idea. With that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. And if I do not see you before New Year's, have a happy new year. Okay, change is coming soon. It's true. All right. We got a big project in 2025. I forgot what its name, though. Just kidding. But with that said, all right, leave a like. See you guys later. God bless and peace.